Hey guys, what's going on? It's Blepnir here with another team review, and today we're going to be looking over none other than the monkey Oranguru, one of my favorite Pokemon. I caught a rank 3 Oranguru, 0 attack, 15 defense, and 15 hit points during the Oranguru release event, and I've been wanting to use it ever since. I've been scrambling for every XL I could find. And finally, we can see it in action. This is a level 49 super bulky Oranguru. We're pairing it up with Giratina Origin and Regirock. So let's see how it does. So we've got Regirock into Tapu Fini. This is a negative lead because Tapu Fini runs Water Gun, and Water Gun, of course, does super effective versus Rock. I come immediately into Giratina, and this is far from a safe matchup because the Moonblast will definitely take out this Giratina. I do decide to shield it, which is smart. It's really good that I'm resisting these Water Guns, and then they come into Registeel. So Registeel is far from a safe swap into Giratina Origin, which is telling me that they have something in the back that's probably weak to Giratina Origin. Much to my surprise, they actually shielded up that Shadow Ball, and now I can potentially go back into Regirock. Let's see what I want to do. So I'm trying to CMP tie to these Zap Cannons just so that they don't get any extra moves in. I don't manage to CMP tie that time. This will be the Zap Cannon. It won't quite take me out. And I get to the Shadow Ball. So that's really good here that I just barely make it to the Shadow Ball. Unfortunately, the Shadow Ball is 3 times debuffed, so it's not going to do a whole lot of damage. And I come into Oranguru here. So even though the Registeel is very bulky and the Oranguru is very low attack, these confusions are actually chunking. So I decided at the last minute that I wanted to go into Regirock. And I'm just going to take out this Tapu Fini. They do shield, so that's telling me that they have something in the back that's very weak to Regirock. Probably a Talonflame, if I had to guess. So I'm going to farm up. I could have farmed more, potentially, because I don't think they're quite out of Surf yet. But I throw my move. And let's see what's in the back. It is a Talonflame. So all I have to do is throw in the middle of their move here. This should just about KO. It's a same type ability bonus, Stone Edge from a Regirock. It does KO. And Registeel comes in, and they leave the match. So Oranguru didn't do a whole lot there, but just showing how strong Regirock is in the lead. I'm very impressed with Regirock. They have a Talonflame in the lead. They come into a Swampert. So these were my earlier battles, so I wasn't quite sure what to do with a Swampert safe swap. But you can see the Regirock tanking that Hydro Cannon like a boss. And from here, Giratina Origin should have a fairly safe matchup versus the Swampert. The Swampert does go for the Earthquake. I was counting. I knew that was an Earthquake. It was very unlikely that they would bait there. So I shield up the Earthquake, and I go for the Shadow Ball. Unfortunately, I don't quite manage to farm them down, so I think this is another Earthquake. No, it's just a Hydro Cannon, thankfully, so it doesn't do too much damage. And they have a Muck. So you're going to see how well Giratina Origin handles a Muck with an energy advantage like it has. That is more than 50% of the very bulky Alolan Muck's health. And this is going to do the other 50% if it lands. Let's see it. And boom! It lands. And now we only have the Talonflame to deal with. The Talonflame will not be appreciating these Shadow Balls. These resisted Incinerates are not going to be able to take out this Giratina Origin. And I managed to just Shadow Claw them down. So there you see a very meta team that's quite weak to the Regirock and Giratina Origin core. So here we have Defense Deoxys. This is kind of a problematic matchup just because these counters are going to be really hurting. The Rock Slides don't do a whole lot. I decided to go into Oranguru here just because Oranguru will be able to pretty reliably beat the Defense Deoxys just because these crunches are going to chip away at them so bad. And they come into one of the hardest counters that I have in the game. It's a Scrafty. Unfortunately, the Scrafty Defensiox's core walls this team pretty hard. And it's a pretty common core, so that's one of the reasons why this team is so difficult to use is because counter users that are also dark types exist, right? So Regirock's going to have trouble with them. The Oranguru is going to have trouble with them. Let's see what the Regirock can do here. Scrafty uses Power Up Punch. That really hurts. I'm just going to have to start firing off these Stone Edges. They do let it go. So that's the Scrafty taken care of. And they have a Talonflame in the back. So once again, this is a match that very much was taken by the Giratina Origin Regirock core, which is absolutely deadly against a lot of the meta Pokemon, right? Like Talonflame, like Walrein. Also normal types, you know, those Focus Blasts really hurt the normal types, the Steel types. It's a great Pokemon altogether, and then the Defensiox is really quite walled at this point by the Giratina. Giratina doing its job as a closer here. The closer is supposed to be able to possibly sweep in the back, you know, sweeping being taking care of either 2 or 3 healthy Pokemon here. And it's doing so. I'm just going to throw this Regirock in here as fodder, but Giratina Origin definitely is the key to victory here. So I can throw the Stone Edge. This Stone Edge should just about KO at this health range, and it does. GG's. Those Stone Edges coming in so fast, doing so much damage. Regirock is an absolute beast in the lead, that's for sure. So Escavalier is another difficult lead. Let's see how we handle it. We immediately go into Oranguru. So we're running into a problem here, which is that a lot of the Escavaliers in the Ultra League do carry the Mega Horn. But I was counting there, and they didn't quite get to the Mega Horn. So I do shield. I no-shield the Acid Spray. And now I'm going to be able to throw the Future Sight for big damage. That's enough that I can potentially farm them down. If I shield this and I don't get the debuff. So let's see if I get the debuff here. I do get the debuff. So I have to unfortunately throw energy. If I did not get the debuff, it was possible that I could have farmed them down. They shield and I go down. So let's see what I want to go into. I go into the Regirock. I just barely don't farm them down. So this is very bad. I have to take this Octazooka to the face. But you can see that I tank it like a boss. Regirock is very tanky. And so we have a Lapras in the back. So this is not looking good. The Lapras is going to be doing super effective damage with those Ice Shards. However, it's most likely that they're running Skull Bash in this meta, so the Skull Bash won't do a whole lot of damage, and these Surfs won't do a whole lot of damage either. So I am going to be able to fire back with these really heavy damage Shadow Balls. They're forced to shield, so now they're shieldless. Let's see what happens here. Do I let this go? I shield it. I have to shield it here because I need a Shadow Ball, right, for what's in the back. And unfortunately, I'm not able to get through this move. So this is not looking good. I have to come in with Regirock. I have to... oh, they actually come in with a Escavalier here. So I'm going to throw this big damage Focus Blast that just about takes out the Escavalier. So this is showing how good Focus Blast is. It is not as high energy as Zap Cannon or Blizzard or any of those really high energy moves, but it's still... it's very hard hitting. So that's why I run Focus Blast, is for situations like that, where I can take out a somewhat squishy Pokemon like Escavalier. So now we have the Walrein into Regirock matchup. This is a good matchup for Regirock. I do decide to call the Earthquake. It is indeed the Earthquake. So the Earthquake wouldn't do enough damage to put Regirock into critical health, but it would do enough damage that I would have to shield up an Icicle Spear. So it's good that I shielded up the Earthquake there instead of having to shield up an Ice Spear later. So I decided to safe swap into Oranguru, and I'm rewarded with Giratina Altered. So this is what I was really excited about with the Oranguru, was tricking them into coming into a Ghost type versus the Oranguru. Oranguru being one of those few psychic types that actually hard counter ghost types for the most part. Especially when the Giratina is running Shadow Claw. If it was running Dragon Breath, this would be a little bit more difficult of a matchup. But with Shadow Claw, yeah, the Giratina is going to be able to chip away with these Dragon Claws, but this single resisted Shadow Claw isn't going to be doing a whole lot of damage. So there we both simul swap. It's a really good simul swap for me because I'm going to be not taking a whole lot of damage from this Talonflame. They did go for the Brave Bird, so I'm just going to let that go because I know I survived the Brave Bird. And this Walrein is going to take me out, but once again, I have the Regirock for the Walrein. So the Regirock, I actually come into my Oranguru. I'm just going to take this move with Oranguru. It is Icicle Spear. I come to Regirock. I'm probably going to shield up this Icicle Spear, even though it wouldn't do that much damage. I do shield it up. And then this should be GG's at this point. Regirock should be able to take care of this Giratina Origin. They recognize that and they leave the match. So very satisfying, taking out one of the most meta teams with the Giratina altered, the Walrein and the Talonflame there. So this is one of the reasons why Oranguru is so strong in the meta that I saw when I was using Oranguru. This was a while ago, but Oranguru really walls the Nidoqueen. Unfortunately, they do have a Stunfisk in the back, which Oranguru is obviously going to have a lot of trouble with, but it's able to fire back for neutral damage with these foul plays. So now I'm single debuffed, right, because of the Poison Fang, and I actually shield there, and what I'm thinking is that I might be able to switch out and preserve this Oranguru. This Oranguru with its confusion, with the constant confusion damage is going to be so useful. I can switch out. I switch it to Giratina. I'm going to eat this Earthquake. Does a lot of damage, but it doesn't quite take it out, whereas it would have taken the Oranguru out. And then they catch this Shadow Ball, unfortunately. And they have to shield up, even though they caught onto the Pokemon they wanted to. They did have to shield it, so I'm not quite sure why they switched out there. But I'm able to hit back so hard with these Stone Edges. The Stone Edge should pretty much take out the Trevenant, just because Trevenant is pretty squishy compared to Regirock. These not so strong Seed Bombs are not going to do as much as the Stone Edge does. Let's see how much it does. It should almost take them out, but not quite. It does a lot of damage. That is enough to take them to put them into critical red condition. And now Oranguru is able to sweep in the back. Oranguru just doing so much damage with these confusions here. I do decide to shield this. I would be able to survive the Poison Fang, but obviously the thing with Regirock is it doesn't have any fast move damage. So that's why Regirock struggles, is because it would just get farmed down. But because I shielded, I'm able to just farm down their last two Pokemon. The Foul Play obviously taking out the Nidoqueen comfortably. We have Regirock into Electivire. This is a pretty good matchup just because these Stone Edges are going to almost take out the Electivire. The Electivire's Wild Charge will not do too much damage to me. So we just go for Stone Edge number 1. That does more than 50% of the Electivire's health. We're going to let them throw this Wild Charge. Let's see how much this does. Wild Charge also does about 50% of their health, but obviously it debuffs. I'm going to be able to take this move pretty comfortably. It is the Ice Punch, but it does like 40% of my health. They have a Hakamo'o in the back. Sorry, a Komo'o. Much to my surprise. I throw the Dragon Pulse. They have to respect the Dragon Pulse. They shield. I go into Oranguru because I'm doing super effective damage with these Psychic type moves. I have to eat a Dragon Claw. I'm thinking here that it's very unlikely that they're going to go for the close combat so early into the matchup. They don't want to be farmed down by the confusions. They do go for the close combat there, and you're seeing how well I eat that close combat. Oranguru, once again, is very, very bulky. So that's one of the things that I love about Oranguru, is how it's able to survive. And then they have a Zapdos in the back. So Oranguru is not exactly what you want to see with a Zapdos. It's a very squishy Pokemon going up against a very tanky Pokemon. They eat that Future Sight. Oof, that Future Sight does so much damage. Doesn't quite take out the Shadow Zapdos. It is a little bit bulkier in the Ultra League than it is in the Great League, obviously. So it does tank that Future Sight like a boss. But I'm just going to be able to spam off these Stone Edges. So this Stone Edge should take out the Electivire. And then I should be able to take out the Zapdos. They do get to a move here, but regardless, I'm going to take them out. That does not quite take me out, but the Thunder Shock does. I get through the confusion. I have a shield, so this is a GG's. With the new Niantic battle changes, I'm able to definitely sneak in moves as long as I tap the screen at the same time that they tap their charge move. So I do appreciate that. I love Oranguru. I love the fast move pressure. Unfortunately, it does not really like those Scrafties that you see in the meta. All the dark types that you see in the meta can fight back against it. So it has some trouble, but it was really fun. And the two Pokemon that I really want to shout out here are the Giratina Origin in the back specifically, and the Regirock in the front specifically. Because Regirock in the front has very little fast move pressure, but a lot of charge move pressure. So the way that this team really shined is that Giratina Regirock in the front is able to force shields. And Oranguru in the back with the heavy confusion damage is able to farm down a lot of stuff. And finally, if the Regirock does get shields, which it often does, the Giratina Origin in the back is able to hit for neutral damage against so many Pokemon. You saw how easily it took out that Alolan Muck. So it's able to fight back against even like things that should be hard counters like Alolan Muck. With those neutral Dragon Pulses. Obviously, neutral Confusions hit everything for so much damage. So I love this team. I hope to use it again soon. I'm also working on other variations of this team. Oranguru, once again, very hard to work with. But I do love Oranguru so much, so I'm happy to have used it in this team. So if you guys like that video, if you want to watch more of me, I do have a Twitch where I stream my battles every morning. If you wanted to check that out, it's in the description down below. So with that, I'm going to leave you guys. See you next time.